The definition. I've heard it said before that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Come with me to Georgetown in DC to see the new Barnes & Noble, because there's no way I'm staying in the house today. I'm in my feelings, so I need to get out, get some sun, some food, and just be around books before they get banned. Okay, yeah, that's a little dramatic, but there's always the unfollow button. I frequent Georgetown a lot. It's a beautiful place, but you can feel the mood here. People are not making eye contact. The police have a small presence here. I don't know why, because nobody's acting up here. If anything, we're all just a little stunned. But this bookstore is beautiful. 3 wonderful levels of much needed book happiness in DC. Because let's be real, books, like everything else, are not immune to politics. They have a great art section for the artists in your life. I feel like I'll be spending a lot of time here. And if you know me at all, you know I'm not above a little dark humor. Under his eye. My sisters are mad, y'all. I don't know what to tell you, but we are hurt. And rightfully so. Because it does seem like there was a concerted effort amongst groups that we've previously supported. It feels like a personal attack from certain groups that we thought we were allies with. That's a hard pill to swallow. But it needed to be done. And now, sisters are saying that they're looking out for themselves and returning to Starbucks. Some of us never left Starbucks because it was never on the BDS list, and we can debate whether or not it's a good company or a bad company. But as someone who does her research on the companies that she supports and makes an individual choice, that is not a conversation for now. Maybe I'll do a vlog about it one day. No one should ever have to explain themselves, especially Black women at this time. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So we haven't heard from Vice President Harris since yesterday. I'm hoping she's okay. I'm in here cleaning out my closet because I'm trying to keep myself busy, waiting for her to speak. And you know what? She didn't fail us. We failed her. I really do hope she's okay. I'm finding it rather annoying that there are people who are upset because she didn't address the crowd. They should get over themselves, because what's understood doesn't need to be explained or even said. We understand and we love her.
And I love you back.
I have really been trying to sit with these feelings. It's just something seems so off. Things just don't seem right. I am trying to drown myself in my books because I make book content primarily, right? So that's what I'm supposed to do. So anyway, at Barnes & Noble, I purchased 2 books and a really pretty journal. I purchased this book, Bleep and Rage by Eve Babbitt, and Elena Ferrante's My Brilliant Friend, because that was like the #1 book of the 21st century. And I purchased this journal, which is absolutely beautiful. It is stunning. The cover is leather and it's got the straps. Just, I don't know. It just speaks to all of my gothic sensibilities. I have tons of journals and notebooks and I didn't need this one. But this was a comfort purchase, and I'm not going to even talk about the stress shopping that I did on election night. Creativity always seems to come when there's adversity. One thing is for sure, I feel very creative now, and I just wish it wasn't that way, because why do I have to be going through something to create something? But here we are. That is the one thing about being human that kind of drives me nuts. I said 5 days in purgatory because I feel like I am indeed in purgatory. We don't know what's going to happen. We're in the in-between, the liminal spaces, the spaces that make you feel kind of creepy when you look at them. That's where we are. And I think I want to paint the liminal spaces. I really do. I want to paint them, and I want to use them as a way to express how I feel. I also feel like in this instance, I am an observer, a witness. I've always felt that way. And so part of this Purgatory series, which will not stop here, is me documenting documenting, digitally, analog, just documenting what's happening now. I woke up this morning with a headache. I think things may be getting to me a little bit. I'm typically not one who is hysterical or anxious about things unless I'm flying. That's really the only time. But I don't know. I can't get beyond this pit in my stomach. I thought I would try to read a little bit, but it's very hard to read because when you have a headache, your eyes don't want to cooperate either. So I'm just going to sit here today. I did see a few things earlier today, though, that I thought I would share with you. I find them a little bit curious. And is this how it's going to be now? I have been seeing many more like this, but for whatever reason, this one I had to screenshot. Oh, that voice is all over my TV. Just like from 2016 to 2020, I feel like my mute button is going to get a lot of use. And then there's the fact that Book Talk is in absolute shambles. I have so many feelings around it. I probably won't share most of them here, but come on, you guys. People are really upset, and I can't blame them for unfollowing people who they feel betray them. It feels like a betrayal for a lot of people. Millie will not be unfollowing anyone simply because they voted for 45. We don't say that name around here anymore. I'm done with that. I'm a pretty moderate person, so it takes more than just voting for the person to make me unfollow you or block you, because I understand that people make mistakes, and I understand that a lot of people are ill-informed, and I give grace. Oh, but not all of you are off the hook. Some of y'all are out of here. There are 3 very specific groups of people that can kick rocks. First of all, those of you who never tried to learn her name, and who made fun of it, it's Kamala, not Kamala, no, whatever joke you were trying to tell. Blocked. If you're adamant about being against a woman's right to choose what's best for her body, blocked. And if in spite of the fact that this man has sexually assaulted people, cheated on his wives, doesn't pay his workers, has been downright racist, and incited January 6th, you try to tell me that I'm brainwashed because of the media, oh baby, you're blocked. Because you can't gaslight me about what I saw. Since books play a big part in what I do as a content creator, because I love books and bookish things, all things books, I just wanted to pop in here and talk about something that I've been working on, even though I know that this video will probably be on more than just my book channel. So I've been working on moving my nonfiction books, my hardcover books, to the guest room. And eventually I would like to just have these shelves filled with nonfiction hardcover books. I am also preparing for my son's visit. He's visiting with my grandson. So I'm getting this room ready for them because I can't wait for them to come, 1, and 2, it's just something that I need to do. And I'm happy to do it because it kind of keeps me from thinking about or thinking too much about what's going on this week. I have to say that I will probably be creating a lot of my videos for a while around what's going on in the world right now, because that's really all I can think about, to be honest with you. I mean, of course, I will give my regular lifestyle content. We will intersperse that in because I do have to stay busy, and I know that that's why a lot of people watch me. But we're in some really trying times right now, right? And I think these things need to be talked about. Like I said earlier in this video, I consider myself an observer. I consider myself, in a lot of ways, even a translator or a mediator in some senses, but definitely someone who needs to document what she sees. And this, unfortunately, and I hate to use this term because it has been used so much since 2016, we are in unprecedented times. And that's really something to really think about and to focus on, and definitely something to document and keep for posterity, if for no other reason. I don't know what's to come, and that's a scary place to be. And I'm considering what we will do going forward. I love my country. I think the government can work when it works. And while we have a lot of work to do, and then the outcome could be far better than we ever thought, which is what I'm hoping for, I also have to be realistic and understand that I'm also planning. Another thing that really baffles me about all of this is the fact that people say they want change, but yet you voted for the same person, or at least the same package. We literally had an overqualified woman who didn't look like anyone else, who had a different background, and who represented not just Americans, but citizens of the world. Not only did we vote in another white man, but we literally went backwards. Insanity. It's day 5 of what I've deemed is purgatory, because we are really in the middle of the unknown. So many opinions and thoughts and conversations swirling around. It can be really overwhelming. It can be really overwhelming, and it just makes you wonder, like, what is this reality that we're living in? Like, I feel like this simulation is really a struggle. Today, I'm seeing a lot on social media from people on the right who really had no clue what they were doing in this election. I've seen people ask how they can take back their vote, people getting on TikTok crying. I've seen people who are asking, what is a tariff? One girl said she didn't know any of the former and possibly future president's history. So that was interesting. She said she had no idea about the essay allegations or, all of the horrible things that he has said or done to people. She just said she didn't follow politics. And that's scary. That's incredibly scary. I think I'm coming to the realization that a lot of people are hearing what they're hearing in an echo chamber. They're hearing things that align with their values or their family's values, because I feel like it's a lot of young people. And instead of listening more, trying to do their research, they're taking that and they're running with it. And it's creating this whole loud and wrong environment that we're in right now. And wow. I suspected this. I suspected that a lot of people were voting based on what their families were doing, feelings, things like that. And I am kind of just blown away now that I'm seeing it like in black and white. People really believing that the things that were being said to them that were, to some of us, clearly wrong, that those things were true. That's sad. That's sad, because I'm a Gen Xer. I remember the stories. One thing that stands out to me, because we're talking a lot about people's finances. That's the big topic for right now, is finances, right? And I want to be better off than I was 4 years ago or whatever. I don't doubt that a lot of people may have struggled in the last 3 years. And the reason why I don't doubt that is because in 2020, we had a pandemic. And I think people forget that. Historically, under Democratic presidents, the economy always rebounds. That is just a fact. Like, you can look it up. I'm not making it up. The economy rebounds. It does. That doesn't mean that it always happens. But in my lifetime, that has actually been, for the most part, the case, at least since Clinton. And it is happening now. The economy is rebounding. Most people will probably be able to buy that house they've been dreaming about, because the economy now, as it stands, who knows what's going to happen, is actually evening out enough where that is possible. It is. But we have a lot of problems, and it's not all just Democrat or Republican, which I wish people would understand. A lot of it is also our Congress people and our corporations and our capitalistic society that we have kind of let get out of control. I'm not 100% against capitalism. I think it can be a good thing when it works right. Right now, it's just not working right. And that's a big part of the problem. We need balance, but we can't have balance if we don't have unity. So that's where we are today. I want to continue to document these days of purgatory, and mainly for posterity, because it will be kind of nice to call these things back up in the future, depending on where we are. Even if it's the future 100 years down the road or whatever. I did not do this during COVID, and I wish that I had. And I am a content creator, and this is the perfect moment to kind of do that, to kind of keep, at least from my perspective, to keep a record of what is happening in the world right now and how it is affecting at least my little area of the internet in my world. I think that that's important. And that's probably what people did hundreds of years ago and thousands of years ago when they did those cave drawings and the hieroglyphics and all that. Like, that was them documenting the time. And so, yeah, I guess some of us are observers. Some of us are translators. Some of us are mediators. Not everybody's an activist. Not everybody is out on the front lines, you know, fighting the good fight. Some of us are just here to observe and try to be as accurate, unbiased, and honest as possible. Right now, day 5 of purgatory, the time between, you know, the election and what happens in January when it's time for us to transition to a new president. On day 5, anyway, what I am seeing is people who are regretting their vote. There are some people who are still very staunch in their beliefs, and they're like, no, this is how it should be. And that's fine. Black women are still mad and trying to get away from everybody else, which can you blame us? We're now starting to have a lot of conversations. Also, people are aware that, at least the rumor is, that there are some possibly tallying machines that have something to do with the votes that are linked to a certain satellite in the sky owned by a certain surrogate of the party that's going to take power. I feel like I'm saying enough without being too specific. I think you guys already know. But yeah, so just keep in mind that that is what's swirling around right now, and we'll see how that plays out. So this was 5 days of purgatory. I hate calling it that, but that's just how I feel. I feel like I am in like the most liminal of liminal spaces, and I don't know what's on the other side. I don't know if I'm alone or if I have people, you know, around me. I don't know what's going on. I just feel very much in limbo. And for me, that is not a good thing. Limbo is not my space. I'm not very good with limbo. If you give me the bad news and that's it, I deal with it. I keep Kamala and move on, okay? But, and if it's good news, I celebrate. But if we're in that in between and I don't know what's happening, yeah, stressful times. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.